Did the minister provide names in that letter that was transmitted to the National Assembly? And can you confirm to us that this is the same letter, a copy of the letter transmitted to the National Assembly?
Sure, we have been following of the proceedings of the House concerning the Niger Delta Development Commission, especially the so-called investigation. And I watched the minister where he was saying, look, he is not against payment of contract that have been duly executed. And most of the people that benefit are members of the National Assembly. At that point, the chairman that was presiding was saying, Honorable Minister, it is okay. Of course, it has become, a funny game now. Honorable Minister, it's okay, off the mic. At that point, he said, won't you allow me to say? Of course, the man said it is okay. And then the speaker now came to preside over the House in order to give the minister, Honorable Minister, 48 hours within which to produce the details of the so-called contract, in which members were involved. And he did. Within 48 hours, that was a very short time within which to do all the comprehensive thing that he had to do. But because the House has to be respected, the president has actually asked all the honorable ministers and all the government agencies to respect the House. And he did. Comply by writing, and then giving the list of those members that have been beneficiary, both old and new.
So when you
because what I did.
So let's make it clear for Nigerians.
Yes.
Millions of people are watching.
Yes.
And when the House came up on that day, it does look like the minister exonerated them, that the National Assembly, the lawmakers do not benefit. It came across as though the minister recanted on what he said earlier. So from the document presented, is it true that lawmakers were benefiting?
I must tell you that when I read, the account of Honorable Akapbio recanting, I was a bit disappointed because almost all the papers had the same headline. The same headline, meaning that it was like one editor wrote the same headline for all the newspapers. But when I now say, let me do my investigation, why would he come up openly with so much boldness and say, I have information concerning the complicity of members of the House with issue of contract of NDDC, and now says it's recounted? That cannot be very honorable. My findings was that this honorable minister sent a letter with attachment of the names of members of this present House, especially the two committee chairmen, both in the Senate and Federal House of Reps, that were involved in contract racketeering in NDDC. And those was not brought to the attention of the House. Right. The letter that was read was a certain paragraph that was very beneficial, and then they were all clapping and rejoicing, whereas the letter itself had a comprehensive account of annexures that indicated names that were clearly involved in contracting in the NDDC.
Mr.